squandering an opportunity? Hi, it's Lee with another leadership moment. Windows of opportunity don't come that often, and today we've got Tony Rush to give you an insight on a special window of opportunity.
I'm a firm believer that if you're not around the business, you're not in the business.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I went to an event, this was years ago, Jessica and I went to Dallas, Texas for an event. We went home and we had our first $40,000 month the next month. And it didn't come from having a big team at that event that got upgraded and all this other stuff. It shifted who we were being. It totally blew out our whole goal list, and it made us totally reassess what we had our hands on. Now that's a correct perspective. Here's the part that I think is a little, perhaps not necessarily very enlightened. I get a little perturbed sometimes, a little bit, when I see people squandering an opportunity. Not often, but sometimes it genuinely bothers me to see someone who, I mean, they deserve it. They deserve to be wealthy. They want to be wealthy. In some cases, they need to be wealthy, and yet they've got a Ferrari parked in the garage, so to speak, and they're only using it to run down to the convenience store to pick up a gallon of milk every now and then. You know, you got a racehorse in the stable, and all you're doing is, letting him out to eat a little grain, and you put him back in the stable. So here's where I'm going with this. The Empower Network is awesome. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nothing else has ever existed like this. But I think we would be foolish and naive not to point out that we are in a very special window of opportunity right now, where if you're not going to play big right now, when would you ever start? Really? I mean, right now, we've barely scratched the scratch of the surface. But we're at a point where we're starting to see, I saw some of the same people at the event in Austin that Aaron did. I saw one guy come into my team party who's not in Empower Network, but he stuck his head in the door. He makes about $10 million a year. And yet, he wanted to take a look at what's going on over here at the hotel. You know, I saw other people who are not in Empower Network, but they were sort of, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, they were just sort of sniffing around to see what's going on. Because we've reached the point of credibility. Nobody's worried about whether this is going to, we have stood the test of time. But here's something else. I see Mike Filsame's name get tossed around this week. Apparently Mike Filsame has joined the Empower Network. He's pretty big fancy pants internet marketer. Well, Jason Moffat's here. You know, Russell Brunson is here. Some of these guys, they're here, but they still haven't got their hands on yet what we're doing. They just know that they want to go ahead and lock in a spot, right? But here's where I'm going with this. In 10 years' time, these conversations are going to sound and be totally different. Here's the point that I want to make. There will be a time very, very soon when, and I'm not talking about like some mythical time. I mean like in about a year's time, in about 1 year, Aaron and Sophia are going to be doing a team event for their team in Empower Network, and they'll have 10,000 people in the room. That'll happen. That's going to happen.
So the question remains, are you going to get into this opportunity? So if you're interested in this opportunity and the most sought-after skill set, internet marketing, go to itsthebigthing.com. That's itsthebigthing.com.